Namaste, everybody. I'm going to describe, with my best attempt, the three primary ways of describing, or the three primary systems of the densities of consciousness within our universe, within reality, or what we call reality. A density of consciousness is the amount of light vibrating within any one entity. Is sometimes called light quotient by many channelers, including myself. I've channeled that as well. I'm pretty sure that means the same thing. Although light quotient is the totality of light within any one entity. Yeah, I guess that's the same thing. So a density, the higher the density, the more the ability the entity has of experiencing and expressing consciousness. Okay, so there are three primary ways. There are many ways, many different systems, but the three main systems that I've seen, that I've come across, is first of all the 8 density system by Ra, or the ones from Venus. In the I Am discourses, it's what is described as the great ones from Venus. They are a 6th density, a late 6th density social memory complex of like-minded, positively polarized service to others entities in service to humanity. They're basically our higher selves. Okay, so they describe the 8 density system, where you go from the first density to the 8th density. The 8th density is the highest density that you'll get to, which then merges you back with the creator, or back with the source, the creator of our universe. And then it's the gateway, it's the loop that loops you back around and throws you off into a whole new universe, a whole new octave of experience. Don't forget, all this works by harmonics. And a new octave is a new universe, and it'll have all different laws, all different rules, all different states of being, all different laws of the universe, and completely different planets and different aspects of reality for you to explore. While you're in this universe, it describes 7 primary densities. I might as well try that one first in the time that we've got left. Then I'm going to attempt a video where I describe the 9 density system, which is one that people like Matthias Di Stefano regularly speak about, the 9 densities of consciousness, where that kind of fits in with what Ra talks about, but the 9th density would be the creator itself. Instead of the gateway, where you start merging back into the creator, but then you loop off and jump into another new universe or octave of experience. The 9th density, if you could get that far, would be the Godhead, I guess. And then there's the 12 density system, where the 12th density is the Godhead. Okay, and they're just different ways of trying to describe the same thing that's going on, pretty much. Although the 12 density system describes it in a way that it shows that we all have the potential to become a universe-creating God, as it were to speak, a universe-creating source, and that all souls have the ultimate ability to reach that level, to attain that level, to go above the 8th density and into the 9th, and on the 12th density system, 11th and the 12th, 10th, 11th and the 12th. I like the 12th density system because it explains black holes and what your master oversoul, your monad, is, and it goes into a bit more detail in many ways. The others do the same, but just in a different way. I'm going to try and do this the best that I can. I may as well start with the ones of Venus, the 8 density system. Okay, so the first density in the 8 density system of consciousness would be the lowest frequency of light the lowest state of conscious awareness, which would be that of the elements: fire, earth, air, water. Okay, and at some point we've all been these elements, and it can last millions, hundreds of millions, if not billions of years. Eventually, of course, the elements mix with each other. The rock, the magma, the lava, which is fire and water, which is fire and rock, mix with water to create land masses, and then eventually land masses will separate, of course, with movement. So the first density is that of beingness. It's beingness and very basic awareness of being an element of the earth. Okay, the very late first density would be where the example, like where they start combining the elements like fire, water, and earth will start combining and creating together, and that's the very late first density. Then you graduate to second density, which is that of growth and movement and interaction with other entities of the second density. So this would start off in bacteria, algae, plankton, and then it would go up to amoebas. It would go. Then it goes up to plants, and then it goes up to animals, basic animals, and then your very late second density would be like parrots, dolphins, elephants, family pets, certain trees which have had lots of contact with humans, lots of love from humans. And the more contact with humans that these second density animals have, the more chance they have of evolving their consciousness into that of the third density. The third density being very early third density would be a very primal human who just thinks about procreation. The third density is about awareness of self, being sentient, being separate from other selves, and awareness that you have choice, that you have the ability to choose how you want to live your life, to choose how you would like to live the rest of your eternity. Would you like to choose that time serving yourself in a negative aspect, a negative polarity, or would you like to choose to spend the rest of your time in this universe, in this octave, serving others in the positive polarity in service to others? And that now this is the polarity of choice, but you don't even realize that you've got this choice until very late third density, which is where many of you watching this video now are very late third density or early fourth density in your consciousness awareness. Okay, so you have the choice. Once you have made the choice, you then go to fourth density. So, but you continue your reincarnation cycles. By the way, a major reincarnation cycle for a third density is 76 to 77,000 years. I've been shown it's more like 77,000 years. Okay, and you keep repeating these major reincarnation cycles as many times as it takes. Many of us have repeated these major reincarnation cycles of 77,000 years many, many times. Thousands of lives. Okay, now very early third density is that primal human beings who just want to procreate, quite violent, sometimes territorial. Just think about getting money and food for their family, territory, houses, wealth. Will defend their family at all costs against other intruding humans who they say is completely separate to them and utterly different from them. That's your third density, your 3D human. Then you go to the more spiritual awareness state, which is fourth density. Now, once you've made the choice and you graduate into fourth density consciousness, you go into eventually you will live for 90,000 years, but this will take millions and millions and millions of years of evolution. Now, don't forget you're spiritually and physically evolving. This is two-tier. You're physical vehicle is evolving lifetime by lifetime, and your metaphysical soul consciousness aspect is also evolving lifetime by lifetime. And so the fourth density is in the astral. Begins in the early astral. The early astral is about here where we are now. Excuse me, moving to the fourth density. Right at the end of third density. The Earth moved into fourth density in 2012, officially. That's when the Earth became a fourth density surface, planetary surface. And now, basically anybody who is still in third density after the next 2 or 3 lifetimes, 4 lifetimes maybe at the most, maybe 5. You've got 3, 4, maybe 5 lifetimes to make the choice, and then that's it. There's a cut-off point. There's a time limit, and from that point, from that cut-off point, the spiral of ascension moves things forwards, moves things up. Anybody who is not vibrating, who's not made the choice in fourth density positive service to others, anybody who has service to self or has not decided yet, kind of in between on the fence, they don't really know, whether they are positive or negative yet, they haven't made the choice properly, will have to go to a different third density planet somewhere else in the galaxy. Okay, so anybody who has passed, who has made the grade, as it were to speak, anybody who's vibrating in fourth density positive service to others will remain with the Earth, with Gaia, and will continue with the evolution on this planet. Lots and lots of work to do cleaning this planet up from the damage from 300 years of terrible destruction and pollution. So a lot of work to do for the ones who stay, but very rewarding. For the ones who, who don't make the grade, there's no problem. You just go and reincarnate again. You get the veil of forgetting put down on you. You don't even know that you've had this life. You are on this earth. You forget you've even been on this earth. You go to another planet. Fourth density will last a major reincarnation cycle. A fourth density will last 30 million years. Much, much longer. Because you've already made your choice then. So then you polarize further. The fourth density negative skip the heart chakra entirely and go straight to the throat chakra, and they have a much longer experience, much longer learning curve because of the entropy, the very high entropy with the negative polarity. The fourth density, like I said, 30 million years of reincarnation cycles, and you're learning everything that there is to learn about love and compassion and the understanding of love and compassion in service to others. The negative polarity, of course, serve themselves in a narcissistic, power dominating way. The fifth density is that of wisdom, the consciousness of wisdom, and balancing love that you've learned in fourth density and compassion with the wisdom to not be a martyr, to not die for your cause, to learn more efficient ways of serving. Only acting if you really need to act, and only engaging in wars if you really need to engage in wars. It's like minimal response to, and seeing all as a part of the one creation, and everything as an aspect, everything as a wheel and a cog in the mechanism of the one infinite machine. Okay, and fifth density can go on for 50 million years, and each reincarnation cycle can last hundreds of thousands of years, going into millions of years. Okay, the sixth density, once you graduate from the fifth, is that of unity consciousness. Unity consciousness this is when you work and you understand with the law of one. The sixth density is when you become your higher self for all of your previous incarnations in the perceived past. Don't forget, when you're in that unity sixth density consciousness state, you will not even think of the past in the same way. You think of all as one, including the past, present, and the future. But you have access to all of your past incarnations. So all the thousands and hundreds of thousands, millions maybe of incarnations that you've had, you can then kind of go back in time, as it were to speak, because you're the master of time. You can control time. You can access different timelines and different dimensions and different aspects of yourself in other dimensions, because you see all of it as yourself, as the one creator experiencing yourself. You're in that each major reincarnation cycle in sixth density lasts for about 75 million years. 75 million years, and each life cycle can be many, many hundreds of millions of years. And that's each lifetime, you know. So yeah, and then it goes up to the seventh density is that of the gateway density, leading you into the eighth density, which is the true gateway that loops you onto a whole new octave. The seventh density is that of, they're the guardians, and they're the highest masters of the physical creation, who guide over, watch over, and teach the higher selves. Okay, extremely dense, extremely unified level of consciousness, who are pretty much one with the creator. And then the eighth density is when you merge into the one creator, and that's pretty much the Venusians, the ones of Venus. That's the way they explain it. Ra, the great ones of Venus. That's pretty much, I probably haven't done this very much justice, but that's pretty much the basics of it. Okay, yeah, that's enough time. The next video will be explaining the 9 density system of consciousness. Okay, namaste.